Thank you, Taylor, for getting us started today. Thank you to Kaylee and also Joshua for singing the national anthem. Quick story, we did not have a national anthem singer until about 5 minutes ago, so thank you, Joshua. Straws and one of y'all was about to become an anthem singer, so thank you, Joshua. I hope you've enjoyed or are still enjoying your lunch today. We have a great afternoon of recognizing some individuals and teams that have made quite an impact on Missouri sports. Missouri Sports Hall of Fame preserves and relives historic moments and accomplishments of Missouri's greatest athletes, coaches, and teams, and inspires future generations to achieve greatness. As we relive some of these great moments and accomplishments in Missouri sports history today, we hope to inspire future generations of success and achievement. The excitement for today's Hall of Fame luncheon has been building since the class was announced. We are delighted with the turnout today of nearly 400 people that have come out to see these individuals and teams be inducted. It is my pleasure today to also recognize Sterling Bank as the presenting sponsor of today's Hall of Fame luncheon. The Missouri Sports Hall of Fame is able to recognize and preserve the accomplishments of so many due to tremendous corporate support such as that provided by Sterling Bank. A special thank you to Scott Spencer and his team at Sterling Bank for the presenting sponsorship. We have a number of table sponsors who are listed in your program. A very special thank you to each of you that purchased a table, a ticket, advertisement in the program. All of it goes towards supporting the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, and we hope you enjoy the printed program. Please take those with you as you leave today. One of the highlights of our events is the recognition of current members of the Hall of Fame who are in attendance. I know today that we have Andy Bennis, we have members of the Scott County boys and girls basketball programs, the Poplar Bluff golf program. In attendance, is there any other Hall of Famers that we've missed that have come in today? Anybody at all? Back over here, yes, we have multiple Hall of Famers. How about a round of applause for all? We also have Fred Bingley in attendance today. He's not yet in the Hall of Fame, but he has been selected to be inducted and will be inducted next year in Columbia on October the 12th, 2025. So congratulations to Fred. At this time, we would like to honor and recognize our veterans in attendance. I want to express my extreme gratitude to anyone who has ever served or continues to serve in our United States military or armed services. We owe our freedom to these men and women and the sacrifices that they've made. So if we have any veterans in attendance, please stand at this time. Thank you for your service. I want to encourage you to follow the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame on all of our social media channels. That includes Facebook, Twitter, or X, or whatever we're calling it today, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Also, if you listen to podcasts, please, we are currently in the 3rd season of Where the Game Lives On, the official podcast of the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. You can download that. There's new episodes that come out every Wednesday. You can download that on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Where the Game Lives On. I also want to point out the Hall of Fame gift shop in the back corner of the room underneath the Hall of Fame tent. We have lots of great branded items back there, FootJoy, Under Armour, there's quarter zips, sweatshirts, hooded sweatshirts, hoodies, there's tumblers and hats and everything else. So please stop by the gift shop on your way out today and pick up something for the Hall of Fame. Today we are going to induct 9 deserving individuals, a pair of remarkable program eras, and a dominating program. You're going to find a nice bio page in your program of each honoree beginning on page number 8. I'm going to share some brief comments by way of an introduction, and then a video will play chronicling the Hall of Fame career of that individual or team. Following each video introduction, the inductee will speak for about 3 minutes and be presented with a plaque recognizing their induction into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. So without further ado, let's get started. Our first inductee today is one of the most successful high school coaches in Missouri history. A 7-time state champion, Brian Jett put St. Genevieve cross country and track and field on the map. Let's take a look back at his outstanding career.
One step closer to our dream, go be great! If you ran for one of his teams, you knew this to be true. There would be winning, lots of winning.
I really think that it was one of the most precious and special times of my whole entire life.
Brian Jett started the cross-country program at St. Genevieve back in 1995. He would coach it for the next 21 years. How did it go? Quite well, actually. His teams combined for 11 district and 7 conference titles. He would win a combined 7 state championships.
He's a very, very special person, and he sees every athlete, no matter if you're the fastest on your team or one of the, a member of the team that wasn't even on the state team. It didn't matter to him. He saw the value in each athlete, and he cared about everyone. And I think the relationships he built with his athletes, that's what makes him a Hall of Famer.
The camaraderie that was built and the ability to be able to do something that was really, really special all started with his leadership and the way that he guided and directed that. And I feel like that's been something that has, been a lasting impact for me throughout my entire life.
Brian Jett coached 56 All-State athletes in cross country. He coached 102 All-State athletes in track and field, where he was the head coach for 15 years. His boys and girls track and field teams won 13 district and 6 conference titles, the girls team winning the state championship in 2013.
I remember going to state meets and Coach Jett talking a lot about the way that we presented ourselves was very important, and that's how he carries himself as well, is making sure that you're not getting out there and just talking a big talk. And so I think that also plays into his integrity. He's a very humble person, and when you have a leader who demonstrates that, it's really not hard to get people to follow that.
All of the success on the team level found its way to him individually. Jett was a 7-time Coach of the Year by the Track and Cross Country Coaches Association and was once named the National High School Coaches Association Sectional Coach of the Year.
Hey, Coach, I just want to take this opportunity, as you know, to thank you for everything that you've done for me. You've given me a pathway to being in education and showed me the way to truly invest in people. And without you, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So I just want to thank you for that. And I also want to take an opportunity to thank the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame for just the recognition of Coach Jett and the many impacts that he's had throughout the state of Missouri.
The only thing that I think is important to say is that I have a very special relationship with Coach Jett, but that's not unique to me. He has fostered that with every single one of the athletes that he's ever coached for all of his years.
A St. Louis native, Brian Jett ran cross country for the legendary Lindbergh High School program before graduating from Southeast Missouri State. After coaching middle school track, he was asked to start the cross country program, and his Hall of Fame career began. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Brian Jett.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and witnessing this tremendous honor. I'd like to thank the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. And I have a number of thank yous. I assure you I won't go 3 minutes. First, I'd like to thank my buddy Russ Toombs for his friendship and guidance as we coached together for many years. I'd like to thank Al Engelman, from whom I learned a lot of my organizational skills. I'd like to thank Chris Warner for bringing a key component of strength to our program and all his tireless help. I'd like to thank Dr. John Boyd Jr. for an unbelievable journey, from an all-state athlete to a college scholarship recipient to a coaching rival to an assistant coach and confidant to a father, husband, and now a high school principal. I'd like to thank Dr. Jeff Nix for his help as an assistant coach and his unwavering support as our athletic director. I'd like to thank the good Lord for making all this possible. I thank my wife Dina, my sons David and Daniel for their undying support and understanding throughout my entire coaching career. I thank my parents who instilled my work ethic and helped shape the person I've become. Lastly, I'd like to thank the athletes for their dedication, their discipline, and for believing in the program. My program was always about the kids. Getting to see so many succeed as runners and go on to be successful adults is priceless. Thank you.
I know, Brian, there's got some folks here from St. Genevieve area, family, if you'd stand at this time. Brian Jett, enshrined as a member September 17th, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the sports of cross country and track and field. An 8-time state champion in high school, and then a national champion. Our next inductee is one of the most decorated athletes in the annals of Southeast Missouri State athletics. She is Christine Ridenauer Boothby.
From a young age, those who saw her run knew big things were in store.
Did not surprise me at all. I think she had a true love for the sport. You can't keep doing it for that long without a true love for it.
A graduate of Kirkwood High School, Christine Ridenauer Boothby made history. You see, in 1979, she won the first ever Misha-sponsored girls cross-country state championship. It was her first of 8, that's right, 8 state championships between cross-country and track and field.
And she never placed herself above anybody else. She was the leader of the team, but she was humble and never strutted around like, oh, I'm Chris Ridenauer. Oh, I mean, that actually, saying that out loud is so foreign to me because that's just not at all who she was, and I'm sure who she still is.
Freshman year, it had to be close to a 5-minute mile. I mean, she was probably just a little over that, and that's pretty impressive. She paved a good pathway for future runners, for sure.
She would find her way to Cape Girardeau in Southeast Missouri State. She won the 1984 Division II Cross Country National Championship and was a 3-time cross country All-American. In track and field, she was a 2-time national qualifier and set school records in the 1,500 meters, the 3,000 meters, the 2-mile run, and the 5,000-meter events. She was a 1984 nominee for the Female Collegiate Athlete of the Year.
She had a good combination of strength from her training and natural speed. And so, she could make it hard on her competitors by forcing the pace if somebody else wasn't going to take it. And then also a type of race that might be more strategic, she could use that speed at the end and just bury them.
I transferred from a small college to SEMO to run track and cross country, and immediately noticed a runner that stood out and was like no other. She had an incredible magnetism that drew people to watch her, and it was immediately obvious that she was a special athlete.
Her final year of college saw her run at Kansas State University, where she was again named an All-American and set a still-standing school record in the cross-country 5K. After college, she qualified for the Olympic trials and finished in the top 13 at the World Cross Country Trials and the United States National Cross Country Championships.
Chris, you're a wonderful person, a great mother and grandmother, and I'm proud to be called your coach and your friend. Congratulations again.
And you set a standard for every young woman, young girl who followed you, and your name has been on that record board forever. So congratulations, Chris.
I'm really proud of you. I am not surprised one bit. We saw it back when you were 9 and 10 years old in competing against all of us at the Kirkwood Women's Track Club. Really proud of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the great long-distance runners the state has produced. Here is Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Christine Ridenauer Boothby.
Wow, what a moment. There are a few other magical moments I'd like to share with you today. In 3rd grade, a teacher on recess duty finally relented to my begging her to run with me around the blacktop. Mind you, she did that in her skirt and her high heels. In that moment, her generosity of spirit ignited my passion for running. Another moment when my dad asked me if I wanted to run in a local track meet, probably so I would stop harassing the school staff. It's that kind of validation that propelled me forward in my journey. The moment I arrived at Kirkwood Park to join the Kirkwood Women's Track Club and realized a whole world placed before me that I was drawn to with all my heart. Okay. It's that kind of rare opportunity that allowed me to continually say yes to the gift. The moment I crossed the finish line to win the NCAA Division II National Cross Country title, I realized the gift of humility and steadfast belief from a coach that was always there for me. I understood the importance of embracing the people around me for their choice of presence. Finally, the moment I sat on the infield at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon, with what was to be my last race. Taking my time untying the laces from my spikes when something caused me to pause and take note. All the lessons I'd learned came flooding back. To have a generous spirit that ignites passion in others. Thank you to that teacher, Mrs. Williams, for saying yes and running with me. To validate the gifts in others that will propel them along their journey. Thank you to my late dad. To provide opportunities for others to have the chance to say yes to the gift. Thank you, Kirkwood Women's Track Club. To embrace with gratitude the people around you for their choice of presence in your life. Thank you, Coach Bingley. I want to extend my deepest appreciation to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame and sponsors, and to all of you here today. I especially want to thank my family and friends for being here and supporting me, and to my husband, Tim Boothby, for helping me gain perspective about the gift of putting one foot in front of the other and learning the lessons that draw you closer to your true self. This honor is beyond words, and I accept it with the utmost humility and a full heart. Wow, what a moment. Thank you.
I know Christine's got family and friends here. I think it's got a little dusty in here all of a sudden. Christine Ridenauer Boothby, enshrined as a member September 17th, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the sport of cross country. Our next inductee was a member of the inaugural Hall of Fame class for the Missouri Volleyball Coaches Hall of Fame, and for good reason. He led his teams to 5 state championships, and his most dominant teams will join him today in the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame as the 1994 through 1999 Lady Mules won 76 consecutive games, advanced to 6 straight Final Fours, and won 5 state championships. Let's take a look at the video.
There was a time they were the most dominant volleyball program in the state.
Success in life comes from hard work. If you're making something look easy, it's because you've put in the work behind the scenes, and that's how it was for Bernie Volleyball.
From 1994 to 1999, no one made it look easier than the volleyball program in Bernie. 6 seasons, 5 state championships. They're one of 2 schools in the 90s to win 5 titles in the decade.
Bernie at the time didn't have air conditioning, and we were practicing in July and August, and it was intense. But we grinded together, and so that made us definitely a cohesive team on the court.
It was like this perfect combination that led to years of success and accomplishments that you would never think would have come out of a town so small.
Their 5 state championships are tied for the 8th most in state history, and during those 5 championship years, they had an incredible 181 wins against just 5 losses. They were led by Bill Zoll, who had coached 17 years of junior high and then promptly won 317 matches in just 9 seasons as varsity head coach. His 5 state championships are tied for 5th most in Missouri history.
His team was going to be in the best shape of any team in the state. So if skill level was ever even between us and an opponent, we were going to come out on top because we could outplay and outlast anybody.
It took a lot of time and devotion to get where they were, and that was on both sides, coach and kids.
At one point, Zoll's teams won a state record 76 consecutive matches. During this time, they saw players earn 26 All-State honors, with others setting state records. All of this happening during a dominant 6-year span in the 90s.
We started a club team at Bernie that, combined a couple schools together, and that was because he knew that we needed to be playing club in order to advance, our skills, but also if we wanted to play in college. So our hard work finally paid off.
Congratulations, Coach Zoll, and all of my teammates for this well-deserved accomplishment. I'm excited that we get to be together to celebrate. And if I could, I would like to throw in a quick congratulations and thank you to Miss Zoll, who was our bookkeeper and stat keeper. She rode the bus with us to every game, and she probably did so much more behind the scenes to support us than we ever knew. Again, thank you and congratulations, everybody.
Well, I congratulate him and the girls because he couldn't have done it without them. And they probably could have done it without him, but I'm proud of all of them.
We are honored to recognize the teams and the coach of one of the great eras in high school volleyball. Please welcome Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inductee Coach Bill Zoll, as well as members of the 1994 to 1999 volleyball era from Bernie High School.
Coach Zoll is going into the Hall of Fame as an individual today, as well as these 6 teams, obviously well represented. I'm going to read some names. You can acknowledge the crowd. Stephanie Beecham, Sarah Betsy, the late Sabrina Bolton, represented by her sister Samantha Jones, Stephanie Botch, represented by her mom Myra Weeks, Brandy Renee Buchanan, Monica Collier, Kara Miller Dillinger, Amy Johnson Dirks, Callie James Faulkner, Valerie Green, Emily Hall, Jamie Fears Harris, Micah Hicks, Aaron Holt, Jessica Silliman Hilton, represented by her sister Tracy Silliman Botch, Haley Jennings Silman, Aaron Moore Johnson, Jenny Jordan, Nicole Moody Carball, Jennifer Pierce, Dawn Robinson, represented by her mom, Jeannie Robinson, Kelly Shear, Tracy Silliman Botch, Renee Zimmerman Willis, Emily Young Camp, Coach Bill Zoll, Coach Eric Bowl. This time, Coach Zoll, it's your turn.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to do because might have trouble keeping it together. I would like to thank the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame for this honor, and the best part of the honor is standing right here. Without these young ladies, I could never accomplish what we did. I had great players and I had great parents. And if any of you have ever coached, you know if you don't have the backing of the parents, you're in trouble. And that's one thing I can say, I had the backing of the parents, because I was probably a real horse's butt. And I put these girls through some pretty tough training, but they never got enough of it. They worked during the summer. I even had some of these girls would be out in a rain going down the street passing volleyballs back and forth. And that shows dedication. I'd like to make a special thank you to my wife, because just as Emily said, she was a big part of this. She kept me in line. She kept score for me. When I had basketball practice and a volleyball game that day, she prepared my meal and brought it to me so I could eat it on the bus. And for the last 10 years, I ate more meals on school bus than I did at home. Several of these girls have accomplished great things. They had college scholarships. One young lady was inducted into the Maryville Hall of Fame and has set records in volleyball at Maryville College that have never been broken. And several of the other girls have went on to college and played. I have 2 or 3 girls that coached. Even have one young lady here that won a state championship coaching. And I'm so proud of that. Emily here, Emily Young, she holds the state record for sets, and I'm pretty sure it still stands. And that record was set back when you played to 15, not to 25. And so that's a pretty good accomplishment. We had some other state records. I think Emily Moore, she had a kill record that stood for a long time. One young lady down here, she hated to run, and if they missed serves, they had to run. If you missed a serve, you ran 5 laps before practice, and the team ran 3. So if you missed very many serves, you spent a big part of your practice running. But she wasn't a very good server her freshman year. But to show you how dedicated she was, she worked at it so hard that in her varsity career, she missed 1 serve. She served 624 consecutive serves. The one she missed was for game point in the state championship game. And I can tell you, today it would not be a missed serve because it barely clipped the top of the net. But it's just such an honor to receive this, and I'm so proud for these young ladies, and I want to thank everyone here. It's just something I never imagined. My goal when I started out was to win a state championship in basketball. I got to sit on the bench a time or two at state championship games, but that never came about. But this more than made up for it. You know, coaching girls is a real problem. Boys, they get mad at each other in practice, they throw a punch and it's over. Girls get mad at each other and it hangs on forever. So my philosophy was, if there was somebody on the team that you didn't like, you better learn to like them quick, because every bus ride you're going to be sitting with them. The person you disliked the most was your seat partner on the bus. But they, such a great bunch, and I want to thank everyone again. Thank you.
I'm actually leaving here today and rushing back to Camdenton, Missouri. My middle school daughter is playing volleyball. I've got some new rules that we're going to implement, it sounds like. So. Bill Zaw, enshrined as a member. First of all, if you're here with a coach or from Bernie, please stand. We appreciate you coming today. Bill Zaw, enshrined as a member September 17th, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the sport of volleyball. Bernie High School, 1994 to 1999 volleyball era, enshrined as members September 17, 2024, in recognition of their outstanding contributions in the sport of volleyball. Congratulations, ladies. Our next inductee has used his voice to bring games to life for the past 50 years. He has called over 4,000 games, including 28 state championships in his career. He is Frank Kirchner.
His voice has become synonymous with sports broadcasting in the area.
Good evening. Dusty Wingard is with me tonight. This is Frank Kirchner on a beautifully clear 74-degree evening.
You know, his booming voice that I first heard when I was a child at church when he was doing the readings. He has that voice that draws you in.
The voice belongs to Frank Kirchner, who has been broadcasting sports in the region since 1971. That's 53 years. He's been on the mic for Valley Catholic, Chaffee, and St. Genevieve football, as well as countless volleyball, basketball, baseball, and softball games. In fact, he's broadcast more than 4,000 sporting events.
He would also ask to view film of our opponent so he could get to know a lot more about them. So whenever it came game time, he knew a lot about our opponents as he did our own team. So he didn't sit up there and make the broadcast one-sided. He was very impartial, and of course he gave our kids a lot of recognition through the broadcast.
Not only his talent, but the preparation and the consistency that he attacks each and every broadcast with is unparalleled in high school sports.
He's been on the call for 28 state championship games between a multitude of sports, and he's embraced the changing landscape of broadcast, transitioning from the world of terrestrial radio to streaming platforms, where you can still find him today.
Frank Kirchner, and we are in Monroe City, about 20 miles from Hannibal for tonight's season opener.
Frank's one of the best at what he does simply because of the pride he takes in his job. He's always very well prepared, very knowledgeable. He knows how to present radio broadcasts, and again, like I said earlier, he makes you feel like you're sitting there watching the game in person.
A graduate of Bishop DuBourg in Southeast Missouri State, he's worked in multiple markets, including Farmington, Sikeston, and Jackson. He's called games from a hay wagon on the 30-yard line and in a monsoon at Faroe Field and the press box in the Dome in St. Louis. It's all part of a 5+ decade career behind the mic.
You are the best high school broadcaster that we've ever known, and we congratulate you. I congratulate you. I'm proud to call you a friend. This is a very well-deserved award for years upon years of dedicated service to high school athletics and doing it at the very highest level throughout. So congratulations.
Frank, congratulations on your induction into the Hall of Fame. You're very deserving of it, buddy, and I'm very proud that you've gotten this honor.
He grew up listening to the legends of the game, Harry Carey and Jack Buck. It wasn't long till he built his own legendary broadcast career. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Frank Kirchner.
Good morning. My children have told me, Dad, you can't do anything in 3 minutes. Well, ladies, here we go. First of all, thank you to Missouri Sports Hall of Fame Executive Director Byron Shive and his entire staff for this humbling honor. Congratulations to my fellow inductees, men, women, and teams. Thanks to all the high school coaches for their guidance and their mentorship, student athletes, color analysts, supporters, listeners, sponsors, and of course, my wife and my family. I've been so blessed in so many ways, starting with my mom and dad. My mother was born in England and scheduled to be on the Titanic when she was 8 months old. True story. Thank God something came up and she never got on that ship. She lived to the age of 95. My wonderful father, who when I was this 17 or 18-year-old would-be broadcaster, allowed me to turn the TV on with the sound off for a Cardinal baseball game or a random football game that we were watching. turn on my reel-to-reel tape recorder and practice my play-by-play. After about 15 or 20 minutes, he would say, "You know, buddy, I think you've worked on your play-by-play long enough today. Let's turn the sound back on while you rest those vocal cords." Well, my dad never heard me broadcast professionally. He died in 1970 of a heart attack at the age of 61. Dad, I know you're looking down on me today, and I hope you're proud of that young man whom you so patiently allowed to practice his passion so many years ago. I feel your presence today. I've had the pleasure of describing the physical exploits of generations of young men and women student athletes, over 4,000 games, 28 state championship games, but it's not the game-winning touchdown in the final seconds, the walk-off homer, nor the state championship-winning volleyball spike that I'll remember. It's when they come back in 10 or 15 years and they're now a doctor, a nurse, an engineer, a lawyer, a CPA, or successful businessman or woman. That's a grand slam. I hope that I've inherited some wisdom during this 50-year journey. Jonas Salk once said, "Your reward for work well done is the opportunity to do it again." I believe everyone at this table has lived that philosophy. You know, we all have a role to play in this life, big city, small town. Again, I've had stops, Farmington, Sykeston, Jackson, and for the last 40 years in St. Genevieve, covering St. Genevieve and Valley Catholic High Schools, and I've been so fortunate to realize my role. In the last several years, I've come to understand how many homebound, hospital-bound, nursing home-bound listeners I've had the privilege to bring a little joy to their lives, even if for just a couple of hours on a Friday night. I've tried to paint the picture and make listeners feel like they were there, just as Harry Carey and Jack Buck did for me when I stuck that transistor radio under my pillow as a 10-year-old drifting to sleep. My wife and I have been so blessed with 3 daughters, 5 grandchildren, more wisdom. I've learned that happiness is when your children turn out to be good people. And it's not what we have in life, but who we have in our life that really matters. My wife of 48 years, we've known each other 52 years. Teresa, she has been my rock through it all behind the scenes. She believed in me before I believed in myself. I love you, and I thank you. The operative word today is grateful. This Missouri Sports Hall of Fame induction is the cherry on top. Thank you so much.
I know Frank's family and others from St. Genevieve are here. We appreciate you coming today. Frank Kirchmer, enshrined as a member September 17th, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the field of sports broadcasting. Our next inductee was a walking bucket back in the day. The Scott County Central Hardwood dynasty started when he led the Braves to their first state championship, and he remains the SEMO school record holder for 2-year scoring average. Let's take a look at the video for Otto Porter Sr.
His number 35 hangs in the rafters at his high school, and for good reason.
He worked hard, he's a real hard worker, and he's just a natural born leader. He leads by doing it.
At Scott County Central, very few did it better than Otto Porter. He led the Braves to the 1976 state championship, scoring a whopping 30 points per game. He set a state record by scoring 143 points in 4 games at the state tournament. He also grabbed 45 rebounds in those same 4 games, which included 25 boards in the championship victory.
He was very unselfish. He played hard all the time, and everybody followed him. All 5 of the other boys, 4 of the other boys followed him. They were real good, really, to tell you the truth, you know. And so I told this kind of led them, you know, all the way through.
He set a Scott County record with more than 1,700 rebounds, and after stops at Southern Baptist and Three Rivers, he played his final 2 years at Southeast Missouri State, where he promptly scored 26 points per game, still a school record, and he's in the top 12 in 7 different school record categories.
When Otto joined the team, he's a team player, soft-spoken, and he was also a very good basketball player. He could rebound, score, and he could also pass the ball. The night that he scored 1,000 points, I was on the court. Otto was calm and his usual cool self. However, on the team, we were very excited about Otto joining that club. And to show you how important that was, most of the people that had scored 1,000 points at Southeast Missouri State University had done it in 4 years. Otto did it in less than 2 years.
Otto Porter was named an All-American in 1981 and is still the career leader in points per game in the MIAA Conference. Pretty good for a kid that didn't start playing basketball until the 8th grade.
I'd really like to congratulate him on making it to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, and wish him best of luck the rest of the time.
He's a legend. Last year, when my wife and I went back for homecoming, the fellow alumni had a chance to see Otto, meet with him, and they appreciate the legend that he established at Southeast Missouri State University. Congratulations on your induction into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. It's a well-deserved honor.
One of the most recognizable names in basketball in the area, he was a monster on the court during his time in the boot heel. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Otto Porter Sr.
Good morning, everyone. It's morning, day. We're in the middle of it. So, anyway, first I want to thank the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame Association for this award. Incredibly thankful that some of the guys that I played with ended up sharing their moments with me. I started off playing not so much the game when I was younger, but ended up loving the game once I got started. Many of you know that I'm not one for the spotlight. However, I like to take a couple of moments of your time to share with you what basketball has meant to me. Confidence, motivation, winning, patience, and perseverance. All of these are lessons that allow me to stand here today. These lessons not only allowed me to stand here today, but they transferred throughout my everyday life. At a very early age, my mother raised my siblings and me to be hardworking individuals, mentors like Larry Mosley, Ronnie Cookson, Gene Best, and Carol Williams. They all inspired me. They motivated me to play my best game every game. I don't have the time to thank everyone who has helped me along this journey, but to my family and friends, thank you. And thank you guys for your time. God bless.
If you're here today for Otto, whether you're from Scott County Central or a fan, please stand. We appreciate you coming today. Otto Porter Sr., enshrined as a member September 17, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the sport of basketball. Over a 9-season span from 1996 to 2004, our next inductee dominated on the wrestling mat. The run included 7 podium finishes and 3 state championships. Let's take a look back at the run of excellence by the 1996 to 2004 Farmington Wrestling.
Can I interest you in a state championship? How about another? Or another? How about 3 in a row? Smack dab in the middle of a dominant run of wrestling.
You don't have to be Superman to compete and do well. You don't have to do anything special. You have to work hard. You have to commit to the sport. You have to love the sport. You have to commit and love your teammates. But anything is possible. And this era of wrestlers proved that we can set the standard in the state of Missouri.
From 1996 to 2004, the span of 9 seasons, boys wrestling at Farmington High School was as good as it gets. 7 times in 9 years, they earned a top 4 finish at state. They won 3 consecutive championships, 2000, 2001, and 2002.
The athletes that preceded us built good momentum that allowed us to catapult the program to new heights. Our mission was to win the state championship as a team. We all bought in and worked tirelessly and consistently to make that happen.
Led by head coach Mark Krause, Farmington is one of just 4 schools to win 3 consecutive titles in the decade of the 2000s. It also captured a runner-up finish, a 3rd place finish, and 2 4th place finishes during this time. They had 13 individual state champions and 13 individual state runners-up during this time.
What the Krause family and Mark and John have built over the years at the high school is tremendous, and to be a part of that short, brief group that was really impressive, to say the least. It's really cool. I'm really honored to be a part of it.
On the wall for everyone to see. We have our conference championships, we have our district championships for the team, we have our state team placements on the wall, and of course that's to honor those that have come before, but also to remind new wrestlers coming into the program that we've done great things, that there's a great tradition here in Farmington, and they're as capable of those that have come before.
The Farmington program began in 1973, earning their first team top 10 finish at state in 1990. Then, in 1996, they began a dominant, nearly decade-long stretch of success.
So I thank everybody that's been a part of this program before me and after me to continue that legacy of a tremendous program and a storied program. I'm honored to be a part of it, and again, congratulations to all you guys.
I am proud of all that we accomplished for the program, our school, and the community. I am thankful that I got to be a part of that dominant run that earned this honor. I want to congratulate all of my teammates, coaches, and all supporters of the program for this induction into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame.
There was a true sense of selflessness. Guys fought to better themselves, but to also maximize what the team was capable of doing. It was true sense of team and love for one another, and it was just a great time.
There was a time they were the best in the business. Please welcome former head coach Mark Krause, as well as members of the 1996 to 2004 era of boys wrestling from Farmington High School.
Coach, it looks like these guys could still get at it if you need them to. So we're going to read some names from some of these guys that were on these teams. You can acknowledge the crowd. Jared Bonnell, Jeff Bowling, Josh Buchanan, Donald Fortune, John Gasser, Michael Hahn, Hillary Hahn, Jacob Hendricks, Josh Hain, Dustin Hain, Howard Hain, Marcus Hain, Ron Jack, Darren Johnson, Mark Krause, John Krause, Jim Krause, David Miller, Joey Newland, Seth Robinson, Kent Slinkard, Caleb Smith, Nathan Spain, Jake Whitner, Dustin Wiles, David Womack. This time, Coach Mark Krause will deliver the acceptance.
Well, I really wish they would have showed the video after this because I was not going to be emotional. They're not any prettier than they were. They are tough, and yeah, he's right. They probably could still take a lot of people. I want to start by saying, when I first wrote my speech, it was about 20 minutes, and then I got the notice that we're supposed to keep it to 3. So I've been dwindling for days, and if you hear some background music, that's just ignore it. We'll keep going. First of all, I'd like to thank God for letting me do what I love. My family for standing by me. Being a wrestling coach's wife is a little different, so I appreciate my wife Julie. My kids love the sport of wrestling. Both are involved. Kelsey is a manager and Gail is a wrestler for 4 years. My parents, I'm very lucky to have great parents that have supported me. My dad started the wrestling club in our area, trying to help us figure it out. He saw other people doing it, and it just kept growing from there. Our other head coaches, Ron Jack started the program, Howard Hain continued it, had our first individual state champ, which happened to be my brother John. So those are all building blocks to get us to where we were going. All the assistant coaches that have been involved, which haven't been that many, but they were all very important. Specifically, John being able to coach with my brother when going through these successful times is pretty special. John continues to be the head coach now, and I tag along as his assistant sometimes, so it's still pretty exciting to get to be part of that. The school district has always been supportive of us. Wrestling is sometimes not a spotlight sport you might not see, but our community was awesome and really came together to support us. Thank you, obviously, to the Missouri State Hall of Fame. I stand before you to accept this award for these guys and on behalf of our whole wrestling family. It is with immense gratitude and pride that we remember and honor the accomplishments of these great young men, but also the families that supported us to make this all possible. To all the wrestlers, thank you for the blood, sweat, and tears. And there are a lot of blood, sweat, and tears going to those practices. I know this isn't an easy thing to do. As Coach Krause likes to say, we are not your kind of people. He's probably right, but in my opinion, it makes us it's a good description of how special we are. Average people can't do what these guys put themselves through. So hopefully they took that, and I have seen results, that they take that into their life and continue it to be good leaders in their family and the communities. And many successful stories in these guys' lives. Also, thank you to all the wrestling parents. It is definitely a family. The parents have to be involved. The support, our parents were the greatest. They all took each other's kids, took them to tournaments, fed them, and after meets, that's really important because they don't eat as much before, obviously. But they really took each other in and were great to support each other. And I think that's a big part of why we were so successful. We always had them behind us, giving us whatever we wanted, or whatever we needed. The community, Farmington, has always been supportive. I appreciate Chad and Dr. Gibbs taking care of the tables and allowing them all to get together. You're going to start that music. Last thing, oh, what an era it was. 3 state titles, top 4 finishes, 13 individual state champions, 49 state medalists, 77-9 dual record in those years. But I had to look those things up because I didn't remember them specifically. Even with all those great accomplishments, the best and most memorable part of this era is that we did it as a family, and we will always be family, family to me. I love y'all. Congratulations on your induction to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Well deserved, Farmington Wrestling family.
We got some folks from Farmington, family and friends that are here. Thank you for being here. You can stand at this time. Farmington High School, 1996 to 2004 wrestling era. Enshrined as members, September 17, 2024, in recognition of their outstanding contributions in the sport of wrestling. Our next inductee represented the USA in both Beijing and London Paralympic Games and is a decorated world champion in the pool. Let's take a look at the career of Suzanne Beth Scott.
At just 12 years old, she found her avenue to competition. It's a road that would take her to unprecedented success.
She's somebody that never batted a lash. You gave her something to do and she said, okay, let's get it done. And just happy to get the work done and to do it the best of her ability. She always put in 100%.
Born with a condition that affects her spine called spina bifida, Suzanne Beth Scott wasn't about to be slowed down. The Cape Girardeau native would become a multi-time Paralympic medalist in swimming.
Sometimes you got to push the limits and the boundaries to kind of find what those athletes' limits are, and the limits just kept rising every. I feel like every year she would just go after it and want to do more.
Her career reached a pinnacle when she earned a bronze medal at the 2008 Paralympic Games in Beijing. 4 years later, she won 3 medals at the London Games. In between, she set the world record in the 1500-meter freestyle.
Her dedication to the sport and to performing, to winning, was she would do anything. And that's one of the things she's like, in order to win, she sacrificed a lot. Like, she didn't get to go to high school like a normal kid would. She decided that she wanted to train instead, and that's what she did.
She wasn't a big talker, but she was a fierce competitor. And I think because she was pretty quiet most of the time, especially before she would race, it was more intimidating. I always thought that was one of her biggest strengths, is she could just beat anybody that she wanted to, but she didn't really rub it in or make a show out of it. She just kind of said, yep, that's how I do things.
Away from the Olympics, Scott has earned 9 World Championship medals in competitions that range from South Africa to South America. It includes 4 gold medals, both in relay races and individual races. In 2008, she was nominated for an ESPY Award for Best Female Athlete with a Disability. And today, we honor her successes.
You are one of the reasons I continued in this sport, because I loved rooming with you so much. You always made me laugh. You're more than a teammate and a friend. You're family to me, and you always will be. I love you.
Everyone that knows you knows this is an honor well deserved, but as somebody that was a former teammate and became your coach, you're one of the most incredible athletes out there. And I think next up is the International Swimming Hall of Fame. But you're a phenomenal athlete and an even better person, and I really loved our time together.
You have been such a light and such a gift in my journey as an strength and conditioning coach here at the USOPC. I know that you are going to continue to do great things, and you are doing great things, and I just am so proud of you, and I'm so humbled and honored to have worked with you over these years. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure we recognize the newest member of the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Please welcome Miss Suzanne Beth Scott.
Wow. Thank you to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame for this incredible honor. And thank you all for being here today to share this moment with me. You know, growing up as a kid here in Cape Girardeau, with nerve damage in my legs from the spina bifida, I often felt uncoordinated and clumsy. And I always felt a little different. I never saw myself seriously pursuing a sport. I could always hit a softball, but I struggled getting to the bases. I could shoot a basketball, but keeping up with my peers on the court was always difficult. And maybe let's not mention my month-long gymnastics career. But initially I found swimming, and while I fell in love immediately with the freedom that the water offered, success did not come easily at first. But after years of hard work, learning, dedication, and having some great support, I found myself in the Paralympic movement and found this world of opportunity open up to me because of this thing that I had been so ashamed of myself growing up. As many of us know, anyone who gets anywhere of significance doesn't get there alone, and I'm no exception. First of all, I'd like to thank God for creating this opportunity from something like a disability. I'd also like to thank my incredible coaches, Amanda and Dave, whom you heard from just now, but also one of the ladies who first taught me how to swim, Joni Edmondson, who's in this room right now. And then also I would be remiss if I didn't mention the late Jimmy Flowers, who was one of my first coaches to really take me seriously as an athlete and instill hard work and value for myself as both an athlete and a person. I'd like to thank my parents and family for their support and all of the things that I've learned from them over the years. And I'd like to thank each and every one of my incredible friends and the people that I've been able to interact with through the sport and as a result of it. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame one more time and the sponsors, and as well as all of you for sharing this moment today with me. Thank you.
I know Suzanne's got family and friends here. If you're here for Suzanne, please stand. Thank you for coming today. Suzanne Scott, enshrined as a member September 17th, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the sport of swimming. Our next inductee spent 27 seasons coaching baseball and softball at Cape Notre Dame. He won nearly 1,000 games, reached 15 Final Fours, and won 3 state championships. Let's take a look at the impactful career of Jeff Gravitt.
If his teams were playing on a diamond, there's a good chance, a great chance, that his teams were victorious.
Through his close to 1,000 victories, numerous state championships, district titles, conference championships, through his leadership, through the respect of his players that he commanded, he achieved a lot here at Notre Dame.
That is a fact. Jeff Gravitt coached baseball and softball at Notre Dame Regional High School for 27 years. In 1999, he was named head baseball coach and then leader of the softball team in 2003. All told, he won 938 games, winning nearly 80% of the time.
He wasn't a demanding coach, but he was an evaluator, a great evaluator of talent. He would put players where they needed to be, and one of the best quotes that I use all the time is, he would always put somebody in to succeed. He would never put them in to fail.
You weren't afraid to take mistakes because he wasn't going to take you out for making mistakes. He was, he always knew that, these are kids playing the game. They're trying the best they can.
He led his teams to the Final Four 15 times. His baseball teams won state championships in 2009 and 2015. His softball team won the state championship in 2009. And combined, Gravitt teams have captured 6 third-place finishes and 5 runner-up finishes.
I did play-by-play for the Bulldogs for a couple of years, and if Jeff would get beat in a big game or whether he won the big game, he was the first guy after he talked to his team to come up, sit on there, and answer hard questions. And I just like the fact that no matter good or bad, it could be the toughest loss he's ever had, the guy was going to come up and answer questions and give you honest answers.
His softball and baseball teams won a combined 28 district championships. That success led Gravitt to individual accolades. He's been honored by the Missouri Baseball and Softball Coaches Association and was the 2009 Missouri Coach of the Year.
Again, through 20 years of being with you, I couldn't ask for anything more. Friendship, coaching, everything that went into a championships. Coach Gravitt, congratulations on your induction into Missouri State Hall of Fame.
The love you've given those kids and all the time you put in. People don't understand the hours that you put into this thing. I do. I saw it working on the field, doing things like that, helping get that building built that you had built, the batting cages. You made a difference in a lot of kids' lives, and I know they don't know that when they leave at 18, but when they come back after college and after being married, you're seeing that now. So congratulations, my friend.
A 1994 graduate of Chaffee High School, he was just 24 years old when he was named head baseball coach, and he started his Hall of Fame career. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Jeff Gravitt.
Good afternoon. Wow, what an incredible honor it is to be standing here today. First and foremost, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame Committee for this recognition. To be mentioned among these remarkable individuals in this room and the esteemed members of the Hall of Fame is truly humbling. To my parents, thank you, thank you, thank you. All of this began because you gave a boy baseball. If my dad hadn't been one of my first coaches and my mom hadn't encouraged me to help my dad coach my younger brother's teams, I wouldn't be standing here today. Your unwavering love and support has shaped me into the person I am, and for that I am eternally grateful. To my beautiful wife, thank you for allowing me to do what I love. I'm an all-in kind of guy, and that means a lot of sacrifice on your part. I truly believe there's no tougher job than being a wife of a coach and an athletic director. Your positivity always balances me no matter how negative I might get, and believe me, that happens a lot more than I like to admit. And I'm beyond blessed to have you in my life. To my youngest son, he said, Dr. Blake, watching you grow over the last few years has been one of my greatest joys. Your love for sports, your passion for graphics, and your enthusiasm for creating sports graphics has been a fun journey to watch. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. I also want to thank my second family, Notre Dame High School, even though my wife calls it my first family sometimes. So many people at Notre Dame have had a hand in my development as a coach, and I'm forever grateful for those opportunities that I've had. I especially want to recognize our school president and our school principal who are here today. Thank you both for your constant support of me. As I look back, there's one thing that stands out more to me than anything. This was God's plan. Coaching baseball at Notre Dame wasn't my plan. I grew up down the road to Chaffee, and I assure you that Notre Dame was not on my radar. But God knew where I needed to be. My plan was definitely not to get involved in coaching softball, but God had a different plan. When I got to Notre Dame, my plan wasn't to get involved in retreats and spiritual life of the school. But once again, God had the other plan. By following his plan, God has placed so many incredible people in my path, from my wife, the former athletes, the coworkers, coaches, and yes, even parents. These parents range from business owners to lawyers to farmers to priests and monks, or to just your average everyday sports mom and dad. Some of my dearest friends are the parents of some of my former players. To all of those people, thank you for being a part of this journey and helping me become the man that I am today. In my over 30 years of coaching, I've learned that greatness isn't defined by statistics or even state championships. It's all about the relationships you build and the impact you leave on others. That's part of God's plan for me, and I'm incredibly thankful for it. Once again, I'm honored and humbled to accept this award today. Thank you.
Jeff has lots of family, a Notre Dame family. If you're here today for Jeff, please stand. Jeff Gravitt, enshrined as a member September 17, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contribution in the sports of baseball and softball. Since 1975, our next inductee has been to 24 Final Fours on the hardwood. That's basically 1 out of every 2 years. They've also won 12 state championships during that same span. That means that on average, if you've played boys basketball at Charleston in the last 50 years, then there is a high likelihood that you played in a Final Four and a slightly less likelihood that you won a state championship. Today, the entire Charleston boys basketball program will be enshrined into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Let's take a look at the video.
The trophy case is jam-packed, evidence of one of the great basketball programs in Missouri.
We really believe every time we step out on the court, we should win. And that was instilled in our minds. And I think that's why we've been winning for years and years.
At Charleston High School, the way is winning. Since 1975, the boys basketball program has been to 24 Final Fours. That's third most in the state. Half of those trips have resulted in titles. 12 championships, also third most in the state.
It's the culture that's been created from the community and the players and just the coaches, man. The expectations are always high, the pressure is always on, kids are always excited to continue it. We are just really a really competitive program and community, and we always expect to win.
Their first championship was 1975, then 5 championships in the 80s, 3 more in the 90s, 3 more since 2007. 5 different head coaches have led the Blue Jays to a championship. The program also has 6 runner-up and 4 third-place finishes.
We always had a coach connected to another coach that took that coach's place. And we had a system going, and our system was based on winning.
The teams nowadays, they still run drills that Mitch started. Those drills have been ran since '75 as far as pregame drills. But the defensive philosophy has never changed. It's always been about defense. And the coaches that have followed Mitch, from Coach McFerrin, Coach Spencer, Danny Farmer, and now to Jamarcus, everybody preaches the same story.
The Blue Jays have won so many conference and district titles, it's nearly impossible to count. They have currently won 14 consecutive district championships. They have had a whopping 24 All-State honors since 2003. Honors deserved for continuing the domination of one of the premier programs in all sports in all of Missouri high school athletics.
It's through the dedication of a lot of players, coaches, fans, and the community that has made that program what it is. So congratulations, everybody.
Day in and day out, in practice and during the games, I want to thank you, because without you and your hard work, none of it would be possible. We wouldn't have had the chance to continue this great tradition here at Charleston. And I really appreciate you. Thank you.
It is with great pleasure we recognize a true basketball powerhouse. Please welcome Coach Mitch Haskins, who led the Blue Jays to the 1975 state championship and built the foundation for the newest program inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, the boys basketball program from Charleston High School.
We also have several representatives from Charleston basketball. I'm going to read some names. You can acknowledge the crowd at this time. Daniel Beetle Bailey, Jeremy Biles, Larry Briggs, Benny Brunderman, Anthony Carlisle, Donald Corbett, Justin Clark, Hardy Crawford, Jewel Crawford, Will Davis Jr., Junior DeLay, Chuck Dobbs, Brandon Dowell, Danny Farmer, Matt Jackson, Daniel McCann, Aaron Gibson, John Haas, Aaron Harland, Mitch Haskins, Deshaun Henderson, Steve Holman, Lonnie Lane Jr., Trent Lane, Trentez Lane, A.H. Marshall, Lenny's McFerrin, Roosevelt Mitchell, Brian Parham, Marcus Pittman, Please Benjamin Porter, Nick Pratt, Arthur Lee Putnam, Sammy Riggins, Tony Riggins, DJ Robinson, Adrian Rogers, Tyrone Rogers, Terry Schott, Tom Schott, Sean Sherrill, Rico Sinks, Bobby Spencer, Randy Thompson, John K. Berner, Timothy Berner, Brian Beiser II, Richard Ware, Charles R. Williams Jr., Jamarcus Williams. At this time, Jamarcus will deliver the acceptance.
Good afternoon, Jamarcus Williams, current coach of the Charleston Blue Jay basketball program. First of all, congratulations to all of the inductees today on being inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. I was told yesterday that I would be doing this speech today, so it's kind of an awkward moment. Obviously, our program is special. Whenever you walk into the high school and you see the trophy case, or when you walk into the gym and you see the banners on the wall, you will see that winning is a tradition. We've been blessed at Charleston High School with a slew of tremendous coaches and tremendous players. It is truly amazing of how much talent has come through little old Charleston, Missouri for such a long time. Within the past 50 years, we've been to the Final Four 24 times, winning 12 of those. Just like the video said, on average, that's almost every other year. Mitch Haskins, who was supposed to be here today, led the team to our first ever championship in '75. After that, Coach McFerrin came and displayed complete domination and led the school to 7 championships. Following McFerrin was Coach Bobby Spencer, who led the Jays to 1 championship. Then Coach Former brought 2, then myself bringing the most recent one in 2022. There are hundreds of players I could highlight right now, but there are far too many, and I only have 3 minutes. But I will say it is really cool to stand up here and see so many Blue Jay legends, players who I've only heard about, players who I've looked up to, players who I've played with, and players who I've coached. To each and every Blue Jay out there, congratulations on being inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. As the current coach, I will strive to keep the tradition alive and thriving. One of the coolest things ever is traveling somewhere far away from home and someone mentioning Charleston basketball. I wanted to mention that because I know each and every one of you have experienced that. Again, congratulations to every Charleston coach, player, manager, scorekeeper, and fan on being inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you.
That's pretty impressive for a day's notice, Jamarcus. We have folks from Charleston, if you'd like to stand at this time. Charleston High School boys basketball program enshrined as a member September 17, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contribution in the sport of basketball. Our next inductee is already a member of the SEMO Red Hawks Hall of Fame. A 7-year big leaguer, he spent 3 of those seasons up I-55 with the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's take a look at the amazing career of Kerry Robinson.
The year was 2001, and the hometown kid announced his arrival.
Swing and a home run, the first big league home run for Kerry Robinson.
Before he was playing for the St. Louis Cardinals, Kerry Robinson was setting records at Southeast Missouri State, his only college offer coming out of Hazelwood East High School. As a senior at SEMO, he hit .385, which included an Ohio Valley Conference record 35-game hitting streak. He was a 1993 second team and a 1995 first team All-OVC selection.
Was a very dominant player and was fun to watch. Kerry was a guy that you watched when he came up to bat. You wanted to see what he was going to do and watch that speed.
One of the easiest guys to coach. terrific effort guy, brought it every day, came early, stayed late. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy to work with, but he was also super talented.
The Cardinals selected Robinson in the 34th round of the 1995 draft. His MLB debut was for Tampa in '98, and he arrived in St. Louis in 2001, where he would play 354 games for his hometown team.
Ripped into right. Kerry Robinson, a hero tonight. 3-2, the Cardinals win it.
He was with the Cardinals at a time when they were really, really good. He got to play with some of the all-time guys, if you're a Cardinal fan and a baseball fan. Yadier Molina, Wainwright, Albert Pujols, just phenomenal. Fit right in there in the middle with him, Kerry.
During Robinson's 3 years in St. Louis, he belted out 152 hits while batting .264. He helped the Cardinals to a wild card berth in 2001 and the division title in 2002. A slick fielder, he also made just 4 errors in his 7-year big league career.
He was someone that you knew was going to do great things. He was a pleasure to be around, and as from a teammate perspective, and to grow and play with and to play the game.
Kerry Robinson would spend 13 years playing professional baseball. He spent the last 14 years as a scout for the Cardinals. That's a heck of a baseball career for a guy who set his high school record for goals scored in hockey.
Hey Kerry, congratulations on your Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. It was amazing to play with you for those few years, and it's been great having you as a friend. So congratulations, well deserved, and congratulations to everybody else.
Just an incredible guy all the way around. Another great addition to the most prestigious Hall of Fame in the state of Missouri.
This is a great honor for him, and just want to say congratulations, Kerry. Proud of all your acclimates and honors that you've received, and hope they keep coming, buddy. Congratulations, and wish you all the best.
Here's a fun fact for you. Kerry Robinson was the first player to ever wear both the number 00 and 00 in Major League Baseball history. It's all part of his nearly 30-year career in pro baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Kerry Robinson.
Thank you, and congratulations to all my fellow 2024 classmates for their induction and athletic achievements. Special shout out to fellow Hall of Famer and teammate Andy Bennis is here. I think I'm one of the very few guys that have played with all 3 Bennis brothers. I played with Andy, Alan, and Adam. So shout out to Andy. I'm very proud of myself and the Missouri Hall of Fame for honoring me for this one. I think because you make it to the show that you're always celebrated and showered with praise along the way, which couldn't be further from the truth in my case. My name may be going into the hall, but all the following people contributed to my success along the way. First, I want to thank my sports psychologist, who is also known as my wife, Maggie Robinson over there. Her patience, encouragement, and even silence at times just to listen to me whine was very valuable. So proud of my three gifts, who all turned out to be college soccer players, Brittany and Candy, who are over here, and their sister Corey, who's currently playing for Lindenwood University. We came within a terrible PK call and golden goal from raising 3 state high school champions, so we just missed out on that. Many don't know this, but I was a walk-on at SEMO, so thank you to Coach Palmer Minch for opening the door and giving me an opportunity. And to my SEMO teammates, Dante Harris, twins Todd and Troy Paley, and Tim Velo, who taught me work ethic and the value of taking extra swings off the tee away from practice to improve my game. Also, thank you to Coach Mark Hogan and his wife Becky for their support and hospitality over the years. I would like to take the most time to thank and acknowledge the guys I grew up with, because without their efforts playing as little kids, I'm probably not standing here either. We all know the movie The Sandlot, and I always could relate to the Rodriguez character. One summer, Jeff Ogleson convinced his dad, Vinny, to build a backstop that he placed in an empty house lot across the street from his house, which became our Sandlot. We swam, we played street hockey, killed a man with the ball, 500, and raced our bikes. Kenny Raines Pitch Jr. and Ricky Nichols always wanted to hoop. Jay, Jared, and Justin Popolowski, along with Sean Scanlon, always preferred to play soccer. Mike Dodwell, Ray Bonds, Kirk Rozier, Sean Mike Brown, Scotty Mullen, Mikey Mullen, Maurice Landers, and my cousin Chris Wilson would all compete in whatever the sport of the day was. On many occasions, instead of hanging with the high school girls, Mark Rozier would play wiffle ball with us younger guys, his brother Scott Rozier and Tony Myers, where I believe I developed my ability to hit breaking balls. Years later, using a duct tape wiffle ball bat and throwing a tennis ball as hard as we could from about 30 feet away, I truly believed I developed my ability to hit velocity playing fuzzball with my high school buddies, Steve Jones, Andy Percy, and again with J-Pop. Thank you to a fellow member of this hall, my father, Rogers Robinson, for teaching me all he knew about the game. He came into this Hall of Fame because his American Legion baseball team won the national championship. And to my #1 fan who rang that annoying cowbell every time I scored a goal, and who stood in my autograph lines at Busch Stadium just to brag to them that I was her son, my late mother, Lois Robinson. Finally, again, thank you to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame Committee for thinking and inducting this kid who lived out his dream of playing Major League Baseball from Spanish Lake, Missouri.
Kerry's got family and friends. There's probably a few Cardinal fans in the room as well. You stand at this time. The video said that you had 4 errors in 7 years. I had 4 errors in 1 game once, so I'm not going into the Hall of Fame. Kerry Robinson, enshrined as a member September 17, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the sport of baseball. Our final inductee today has been a head golf professional in Cape Girardeau for over 45 years, including the past 24 years at Dalhousie Golf Club. The impact he has had on the game of golf is immeasurable. Let's take a look at the influential career of Jack Connell.
Keep following through, turning your chest, just like that, right out towards that target.
If he's teaching you the game of golf, it means you're learning from one of the best.
Wherever a kid looks like they need help, he'll go and ask them, and he'll help them no matter if it's 110 degrees. He's always there for somebody.
Jack Connell is no stranger to Southeast Missouri. He's been teaching golf in the area for 45 years. It began in 1979, and for the first 21 years he was head pro at Cape Girardeau Country Club. For the last 24 years, he's been director of golf at Dalhousie Golf Club.
There are directors of golf that are head professionals that have a better game, that drive it farther, that putt better, and all that stuff. But they don't have what Jack has. He comes from the heart. You can't teach what Jack knows.
Connell has been an elected member to the PGA America Gateway section since 1985. He's served on its board since 2018. There was a time when he was the only Class A registered pro between St. Louis and Memphis, and he's mastered his craft by sticking to some hard and fast rules.
2 things he's always said that ruins golf is slow play.
Golf pros will talk too much.
And he is correct.
And then he'll say, I'm done talking, you keep up, and off we go.
I've never seen him in a bad mood, but he is hyper. He'll be jumping around all the time, trying to go here and there, and the kids just love it and laugh.
But if you ask anyone, Jack Connell's impact always comes back to the kids. He served 4 years as assistant coach at Southeast Missouri State. He is deeply involved in the USGA, the Junior Golfers Association, Missouri Golf Association, and the Gateway Junior Series. He runs his own Connell Golf School with the aim of teaching kids to love the game.
He's like little Pawpaw. They don't call him Little Pro around him, but he's called Little Pro. And he's like Grandpa. They'll run to him if they need something, especially the little kids. And then when the kids get older, you know how they act like they're too cool for their parents, but not to Jack. They're there for him.
There's no words that can express to you my gratitude for what you've done for our club, for our membership, for myself and my family, and our business. However long the journey takes us, when we were both somewhere else looking down on the facility, we can shake each other's hand and say, job well done.
Hey Jack, congratulations on being inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. And Cord, thank you for hiring him. I love you both. And let's go on, everybody. Let's go. Let's go.
Jack Connell told us, when you get to do what you love, it's not a job, it's a journey, it's an adventure. For all of his incredible work in golf, we honor him today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Jack Connell.
That's my best cheerleader, right there. Kerry informed me that I had 3 minutes, and I noted there was only one time that the music started, so I'm stealing all those seconds that those guys didn't use, so strap up. Here we go. I can't say hello in 5 minutes. Thank you, Kerry, Byron, and the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Billy Pylan, thanks for the nomination. I've been a golf pro in Missouri for 43 years in Missouri, and I've seen all the coaches in this area and most of them in the state. Billy, there's no doubt and no reason for anyone to doubt that you were the best coach in Missouri for golf. And I know you helped in football too, but you were the best. It's an honor and a blessing. Kathy said when I informed her, my wife, that I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, she said it's another great chance to give God the glory and praise that He deserves. I get to help golf with people. And people said, oh, it's well deserved that you got in the Hall of Fame. But when they tell me I touched their life, that's what's important to me and to God. What a journey. Now I get to make more memories. Corey told Kathy, Hall of Fame honors are shared by many and a joint award. So to all the Egyptian Country Club, the little 9-hole golf course that I was born and raised at, and Cape Girardeau Country Club, where I got to serve for 20 years, and Dalhousie Golf Club, as you heard, 24 years. I not only had members and guests and co-workers, I have friends. First, I need to thank my family, because it involves sacrifice and support. Like many today who couldn't be here, not only for me, but for others, they couldn't be here physically, but they're here in spirit. I love my family, and they know it. Casey, Jack Jr., Corey, and the families, and my extended families, families of my brother and sister, and Kath, I gave you a little present so you can open it while I keep talking. And I'll tell you what it is. Everyone knows that Kath deserves a medal for being involved with me for as long as she has. And so she's sent me hundreds seen me send hundreds of medals out to kids and players. But that's her first, and it says Kathy Connell, best wife and mom, always and forever. Kerry said you got a lot of thank yous. Don't forget your wife. I said, you know, my family has all endured the element of time. Long hours, probably of my choosing. But they let me be me. I had to tell Corey when he said, how do you think it is that you don't have a real job? And I said, well, my work's not hard. It's not a job if you love it. And if you know me, you know I love my job. I got to thank my mentors. And I told Kerry, I said, you know, I started thinking and there was one or two, and then the older I get, the more I realize and the more I thought about it, I need a lot of mentors. Jesus, you're the best. My mom and dad served others. My brother Connie, my sister Kay, her birthday would have been today. God, you got to see you. Steve Heckel taught me about being a golf professional. Larry McKinney, when I came to Cape, took me under his wing, signed for co-signed for a loan. Can't say enough about him and Cord Dombrowski. All these are smart and great people, and they all have a serving heart. Many of you have helped me through the journey more than you know. I'm proud to be a member of the PGA of America, but most of all, I'm proud of the members I get to serve with. Cord and most all the tournaments allow me to pray before each tournament. And after I go through the rules, tell them where they can drive the carts, and the minor contests that we're playing for that day, I get to remind them that there's two things that kill the game. Slow play and golf pros that talk too much. And so I want you to just go keep up. I thank you for coming and hope you enjoy the memories and the journey in your life a little bit. It's not what you have, it's what you leave behind. People ask me as they see I'm getting a little, not only gray but bald, when are you going to retire? LeBron said it best. Not today, baby. Thank you.
Jack has a few things here. Jack Connell, enshrined as a member September 17th, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the sport of golf.
Cord lets me be the director of fun. Come out and see us at Dallas.
I love my job too. What a great class of inductees that have been enshrined today into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. One of the things I love about each class is different, but you get all of these stories, all the background, all of the, what led them to this moment. And so just, how about a round of applause one more time for all of our You don't have to sit down, we're almost done. Allow me to thank each of you one more time for being here. I do want to offer a sincere thank you once again to Sterling Bank for being our presenting sponsor. We appreciate their support. Thank you for everybody for being here today. Please stop by the gift shop on your way out, but please drive safely home. Thank you for attending.